Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yatha Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivishakam Vitam Sya Om Ajnana Timarandasya Gyanachana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gorva Bhistam Supurakam Garaganara Sesha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Vedanipanam Shri Rupa Patanagam Govinda Bidam Ujvalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Bidam Sundaram Mande Vishwa Gurun Shah Divyat Bhagavat Premna Vibija Pradam Devam Divyatanum Suchanda Baranam Balarka Chilanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shedaram Panchakalpatarubhyas Chakripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Goratabhishe Namah. So we're continuing with our reading of the Sri Garga Samhita by Sri Garga Muni. And this is the first canto, chapter 5, the Lord's Appearance. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, the women of Rama Vaikuntha, the women of Svetadvip, the women of Urdhva Vaikuntha, the women who had taken shelter of Lord Ajita's lotus feet, the women of Lokachala and the daughters of Varuna, who appear as gopis in Braja because of a benediction offered by Lord Narayan, the husband of Lakshmi. Some women from the heavenly planets, some women from the other planets, and some women acting under the control of the three modes of material nature will, because of various kinds of pious activities, appear as gopis in my pastimes. When they saw the most handsome Yagya avatar, the son of Ruchi, the demigoddesses were overcome by love for him. On Devala Muni's advice and with great devotion to me, they performed austerities in the Himalayas. O Brahma, they will also appear as gopis in Braja. When Lord Dhanvantari disappeared from the earth, all of the medical herbs in Bharatvarsha became unhappy. Because of this, they became ineffective. To regain their potency, these herbs transformed themselves into beautiful women and performed austerities. When 4 yugas had passed, Lord Hari became pleased with them. Once, when they saw the Lord in a great forest, they became enchanted by him. After hearing him say, please choose a benediction, they requested, please become our husband here. Lord Hari said, in Vrindavan at the end of Dwarpara Yuga, you will appear as flowering vines and then transform into women in the arena of the rasa dance. I promise you this, in Vrindavan they will appear as beautiful and very fortunate flowering vine gopis, filled with love for me. When the women of the Jaladhara country saw Lord Hari, the husband of Vrinda, they thought to themselves, may Lord Hari be our chosen husband. A voice from the sky then announced, worship Lord Narayan, the husband of Rama, and you will become like Brinda in Vrindavan. When Varuna's daughters saw Lord Hari as Sri Matsya, they became bewildered with love for him. By Lord Matsya's benediction, they will also appear as gopis in Braja. There was a powerful king named Prithu, who was a partial incarnation of me. After defeating his enemies, the best of the kings milked many desirable things from the earth. When the women of the city Barishmati saw Lord Prithu, they became overwhelmed with love for him. Approaching Atri Muni, they said, "O great sage, please tell us how the powerful King Prithu can become our husband." Sri Atri Muni replied, "In meditation, make an offering of milk to the earth, and she will give you a great impassable ocean of fulfilled desires." O Brahma, using their thoughts as a milk bucket, these women milk their desire from the earth in the form of a cow. In this way they also will appear as gopis in Vrindavan. While residing on Mount Gandhamadana, Narayan Rishi manifested a host of the most beautiful apsaras to bewilder Kamadeva's army. When these apsaras wished to obtain him as their husband, the all-perfect Narayan Rishi assured them, "You will appear as gopis in Braja, so that your desire will be fulfilled." When the women of Sutalaloka saw Lord Vamana, they became overwhelmed with love for him, and so to attain him, they performed austerities. O Brahma, they will also appear as gopis in Braja. The supreme serpent princesses who had worshipped Lord Seish, desiring him as their husband, will appear in Braja and engage in Lord Balaram's rasa dance. Kashyapa will descend as Vasudeva, Aditi will appear as Devaki, Pranavasu will appear as Shurasena, and Dhruva Vasu will appear as Devaka. Another Vasu will descend as Uddhava. Daksha will appear as Devaka. Kashyapa will descend as Vasudeva. Aditi will appear as Devaki. Pranavasu will appear as Surasena, and Dhruva Vasu will appear as Devaka. Another Vasu will descend as Uddhava. Daksha will appear as the kind-hearted Akrura. Kuvera will appear as Ridika, and Varuna will appear as Kritavarna. Prachina Bari will descend as Gada, and Maruta will appear as Ugrasena. I will give the kingdom to Ugrasena and carefully protect him. Ambarish will descend as Yuyudhana. Prahlad will appear as Satyavaki. Shirabdi will appear as Shantanu, and Dronavasu will appear as Bhishma. Devadasa will descend as Shalya, Bhaga as Dhritarashtra, Pusha as Pandu, and King Dharma, the best of the devotees, as Yudhishthira. Vayu will descend as Bhima. Swayambhuva Manu will appear as Arjuna. Shatarupa will appear as Subhadra, and Savitra will appear as Karna. The twin Ashvini Kumaras will descend as Nakula and Sahadeva. Datta will descend as a heroic Balika, and powerful Vani will appear as Dronacharya. A partial incarnation of Kali will descend as Duryodhana. Soma will descend as Abhimanyu. Lord Shiva will appear in an expansion as Dronacharya's son Aswatthama. In this way, by my order, the demigods and their wives will appear in the families of the Yadus, Kurus, and other kings. Whenever I incarnated in the past, the goddess of fortune would also incarnate as my queen. This time she will incarnate as my 16,000 queens. After speaking to Brahma, who sits on a lotus throne. Sri Hari addressed the goddess Yogamaya, whose form is completely spiritual. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O noble-hearted one, take the seventh embryo from the womb of Vasudeva's wife, Devaki, and place it in the womb of Rohini, who is staying in Braja out of fear of Kamsa. When you have done this, you should place yourself as an embryo in the womb of Nanda's wife. Lord Brahma and the other demigods bowed down before Lord Krishna, who is greater than the greatest. After comforting the goddess of the earth, each went to his respective abode. Narad Muni had narrated this to King Bahalashva. After describing the Lord's appearance as an incarnation, he said, O King of Mithila, please understand that Sri Krishna, who incarnated on the earth to annihilate the demons headed by Kamsa, is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. O King, if I had as many tongues as there are hairs on my body, I could still not properly describe Sri Hari's glorious qualities. As various species of birds have different capacities to fly in the sky, so wise philosophers have different capacities to describe Lord Krishna's transcendental characteristics and pastimes. So that's the end of chapter 5 of the Garga Samhita.